So we are about to battle. Our first battle. I have no idea what I'm doing other than a few basic things. I have no idea who's the enemy over here. I have no clue. If they're all the enemy, we're screwed. Because it says this is the battlefield and there's guys here. I would like to assume that they're allies. And there's like a different group or something somewhere that we have to fight. I honestly have no idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight these guys and I'm going to send them on their way over there and we are going to see what happens.
It's time for war! Here we go, boys!
Keep falling back! Move back, men! Keep falling back! Back off now! Move quickly!
Rip their heads off! Kill them all!
Alright, so that did not work out in our favor at all, and that probably just really hurts our workforce too. Um, yeah, I have no idea how, like, I had to go up against such a big army or military right away. That's crazy, dude. Look at all of those units, and I had one unit of 15 people. Like, how does that even happen? I mean, these people, if I remember correctly, what happened was one of these other people said pretty much like, give us a piece of the land that we want or fight for it. And I was like, well, I guess we'll fight for it. So, the game kind of gave me no choice to fight all these people, and I was also kind of looking for ways to like back out of it or forfeit or whatever you'd want to call it, and you know, I didn't see I didn't see anything. There was no mercy. It was done when the last one died. So, I guess we gotta move on, and we gotta keep building our military. Let's see if it took it away. No, it didn't, so hopefully this just keeps building on its own again. Man, what a bummer. And we gotta start building some tools that would actually really help us out when it comes to the militia, at least in the early stages. So I did look it up, and now that we have this livestock trading post and I have a family working here, I should be able to import these animals. So I guess we'll see how that goes. I don't know if they have to like go get it or if you're waiting for it, how that works exactly. But I went with a sheep because I already have a sheep farm. We already have a pasture. I suppose that this sheep farm could work for lamb, but I don't know if the game is set up for that or not. I don't know 100. I really don't know much about the game at all. Anyways, so we're gonna see how that goes. And we have this windmill here. We have this already being built now. I put it to high priority because it can help us diversify our food portfolio a little bit. Hunting, they're not doing the greatest. I've been thinking about adding a second family, but now that we have lost a battle and lost 15 men, I think I'll just leave that all by itself. So we'll add some residential, bring in some more families, and we'll add a worker to the charcoal kiln so we can start exporting that and then using it obviously for whatever it needs to be used for. But I did put stone on export to try and up our money a little bit. So if I go here to the trading post and go to trade, stone export, yeah, I have 5 on export just to see what it'll do, because as I've mentioned many times now, I don't know anything about the game. So I have no idea how this is going to work. Obviously, I know how simple logistics works and, stuff going in and going out, but I haven't ever used this, so like it's not entirely descriptive as in like, is it once a month? Yeah, it doesn't show any time frame. Um, just says sell until desired surplus is reached. Oh, I see. So like, how much total do I want to sell? I see. So yeah, we'll start out with like 25 and see what happens, I guess. Looks like we can do this lime kiln because it takes rubble stone, and that's where what we're getting here. So that'll be perfect. Because without importing and exporting some things, it'll be really hard to prosper in the way that we want. Because, I mean, at least this area doesn't have all of the resources, you know what I mean? And we're eventually going to need more in order to, like, expand our population. We are a hustlin' and tusslin' village now. Our manor is built. That's awesome. And I did notice there's still raiders near coming to attack. And I thought that the battle we went to actually had to do with that. So is there still like another battle that's going to happen? I'm really unsure at the moment. I'm going to assume that there is another battle. The thing is, like, what are these? Ready to rally. What are they, though? I don't know. And then, yeah, we have, it's like 5 out of 18 guys ready. And then 5 guys ready to rally. I mean, I think those are the same people, to be honest. I don't know, man. I don't know. Ooh, you can customize this stuff, man? No way. Okay. we'll do that stuff later. Oh, it looks like it actually costs a little bit of money, maybe. Um, oh yeah, we did actually start making some money too, from land taxes and from taxes from the church. So that is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and start exporting planks. I think that's maybe the next best thing. Export, and we'll do 25 of these too. We'll stop the rubble stone because we're about to run out. And then we'll start exporting planks, and we'll go to 25 and see what that does for us. But you know what? I can just type it in. There we go. That's better. And soon we should be able to start making mortar, and when we do, we'll also start exporting that most likely. And 118. We can go ahead and export, and we'll do 25 of these too and see what happens. There we go. So no more trade with the rebel stone. Planks 25, perfect. And getting some firewood out of there, perfect. That'll help with our little storage issue going on right now. Oh yeah, our food is looking a lot better now that we actually had a harvest. We have a windmill, and we have the communal oven. All of that stuff really helps. And we have the forager hut, the hunting camp. I actually did add another family or person to the hunting camp to help with that, and I added a tannery. No rush on that though. I'll keep it at medium. But we only have 65 timber, so I think I'll keep somebody in the logging. I'll still keep somebody planting new trees, of course, because it doesn't look like they plant too many, unless he's planting them all right here. Let me see, can you widen? Well, that's what it looks like it's doing. Yeah, we're gonna do that and keep it away from the town. We don't need to do it that big. We'll do it like that. Yeah. Because, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they planted one wherever this tax office is right before it was built, and I don't know what to do about it. It's like right there, man. Oh well. It's cool. Oh, and I did put a marketplace down over here because I have a little marketplace right here, little marketplace that's going to go here. Actually, this one's a big one. And just because there's going to be a lot of, there could be a lot of trade through things like that. So, and having the marketplace by the shoreline just kind of makes sense in my mind. Let's go ahead and hit play. We haven't hit play in a while. It is fall time. So they should be wrapping up whatever they're doing in the field here. And you know, now is probably the time I would actually put the second person here at the hunting, now that I think about it. Because with some of this stuff being seasonal, like, I gotta imagine in the wintertime, let's say I have 2 or 3 people, maybe I only have one person or none in the wintertime. It's something I'm gonna want to look up because I'm just entirely unsure. Ooh, upgrade plowing station. What else can we upgrade? Hang on. Okay, so it'll actually show me. Let's see. Okay. A vegetable garden. Yep, let's do that. And then let's see. This person can do chickens. And we'll have another one of them do. Well, I mean, I suppose animals may be purchased after the frame is built. Okay, so that I guess they're gonna do animals. And we'll do another person with a farm. An orchard? Yeah, there we go. Okay, that should definitely help with food too. Because not as many mouths to feed, and they can also help put food into the pot. You know what I mean? And not just take from it, they can add to it. Or simply not take from it at all and just be self-sufficient. I mean, that's probably the best way to do it, you know? I guess we should have one of these houses doing it too. Let's go ahead. What is this? Provides a passive yield of honey, and every third yield provides wax. Interesting.
We all know what that means, don't we?
Okay, adding some diversity to our town here. I love that, dude. So cool. It's gonna look so good. I'm really curious how this one's gonna look, man. Let's go ahead and take the charcoal family off the charcoal. That way somebody can do construction, and then when we get a new family in, we'll add to the charcoal. Then when we get another family, we'll add to the stone. Because nobody's been gathering stone for a minute. We'll drop that priority though, so if they don't do that, we want them to do some of this other stuff. High priority on that house. That one's almost done too. This one can drop to low. What was this? Very low? Yep. And yeah, we're just gonna put the houses on high, and then they can do this. Kleinwaher is being claimed. What bigot is claiming that, dude? And it wants me... The only option I have for this is to resolve the claim on the battlefield. I don't want to do that. Am I able to see, like, who's claiming it? Did it tell me? It did. Sebastian, okay. So... But I like this guy, man. Okay, so I did skip ahead a little bit. We have, I sent a letter to Sebastian, pretty much saying like, hey man, you gotta pay me silver, or we're not gonna be friends, and I might even fight you for it. That's pretty much what the letter said, and which, I don't know why I'm entitled to be paid for this land that he wants to claim, but I do feel entitled to it. But I only have one option, resolve the claim on the battlefield. And I don't want to do that. I did hire mercenaries, and because my warning went away, I mentioned this earlier, I didn't actually have to use the mercenaries, so I got rid of them, but I forgot that I was going to save them in case I had to do this. So I don't know what's going to happen because of that. We raised the church taxes from 2% to 10%, and property taxes or land taxes still 10%. They're not so happy about land tax. They don't really seem to care about church tax so much. We want to add another farm field because next season, after this season, we're going to do fallow, which the field will regenerate all types of fertility, but yield nothing. So it's not going to give us anything. And I'm assuming that means we're not going to eat from it either. So it'll be a lot of work for no return other than the field being rejuvenated with nutrients for the plants, right? No matter what, we have to have a rye field. Rye does the best overall in our vicinity, especially in this area. So we want to add another field, and that way we can alternate which field is going to do fallow, which one will do rye, and then which one will be like the oddball that we're just going to have to stick it out with, but make sure like it'll still be beneficial, but it's going to vary on quality and quantity. So, and then, you know, every so often there will probably be the seasons where you put a lot of work into it, but you don't get a lot out of it, right? So, but sometimes the bad years just really help set you up for the good ones, and that is the goal and the point. Right now we have nobody doing construction because I assigned my last person over here to start cutting more wood because it's something that we can actually like easily sell in a way. Let's see, Woodcutter's Lodge. Let's look at advanced. Yeah, we need more families to come. We do have houses being built, and I want to say there's like, yep, there's 3 open houses. So it's not a major rush, but that's at least that's probably the minimum of houses you would want to have available. A small handful. That way, 1 or 2 families come in. Okay, good. I can get some houses built for the next wave of families. But you don't want to have a family come in and automatically immediately be homeless because, well, that just would not be good. That's not good for anybody. Did I keep this guy here? I didn't. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. What do we do now? So, I mean, there are a decent amount of trees here. They just need to grow. Um, Let me take this guy away for now, and the forager, or the forester, sorry, is going to be a fisherman. Change your careers, my lad. You would do good. Do good for me, not for you. Think of me, your ruler. I am going to try my hardest not to have to go to battle. I don't want to do it. We're going to get obliterated. I already know it. I don't have a lot of guys, and my guys are also still healing the ones that I do have. Now, I don't know if the people I lost, if I'll get them back, or if they're just dead forever. I would assume they're dead forever, because in a game like this, I mean, that's what you would do. So, we're assuming that they're dead forever. We're waiting on a new family to come in so they can be our construction crew, excuse me, and our logistics crew, because they also fill in as the ox transportation for goods. So, the tannery. Oh, nobody's working here. Hmm. Hmm. We could sell that stuff too. We need to get somebody in there. Um, so I've had it paused for a minute, which is why these just haven't built up. I've been like doing stuff and I'm like, man, it's still at 67. Well, I haven't hit play. So we're gonna need to let this play for a minute to build up some wood. That way we can actually sell more of it. And then maybe I can switch some people around doing stuff and I can get another person in here, and or if one or two more families come. If two more families come, we're golden for the moment. We can have the one doing the construction and stuff like that, and I can add the person to the tannery. Um, and we will be switching people probably back and forth between woodcutting, saw pit, and logging camp. It would just make sense to kind of keep these grouped up and producing. So we have nobody cutting logs. We're at 73 right now. We're going to have to really, really monitor that. Let's check our trade post real quick and make sure that our, yeah, wood and planks, we're not, you can't trade timber. I really wish you could, but I mean, by the looks of how you have to transport things in the game, and an ox is just dragging a log on the ground, like, yeah, you couldn't really send 10 logs to a city. It would just never get completed. It would take forever, and at the end of the day, because of that, you would really make no money. They're actually starting to continue to plow the field they didn't plow previous season. I like that. Good for you guys, man. Thank you. Okay, let me pause this and talk about this for a moment, because this is the situation where the game kind of confuses me. So it says this building needs maintenance. Workplace is at risk due to no maintenance, decreased labor speed, and uh, maintenance rate of like uh like health rate or whatever you'd want to call it drops by 50%. Um, so that's what's happening right now. This slider says double maintenance. You go to here, it says normal maintenance. You go to here, it says half maintenance. So I went up to double maintenance. If you go here, um, okay, pending maintenance resources. You look at the question mark. It says some workplaces require upkeep resources such as tools to function efficiently. And then at the bottom, the maintenance slider adjusts how quickly upkeep resources wear out, and also directly affects worker labor time. So like this, the slider adjusts how quickly upkeep resources wear out. So like by putting the slider up, I'm increasing the amount of maintenance. I'm increasing my yield, but I'm also increasing how quickly my tools wear out. So that's what's tripping me up right now during this industrial endeavor is now I've had to do this a couple times, not for very long, because I end up getting too worried, like I'm thinking too hard about it, but like I need to do less maintenance so I don't go through an, as much tools so quickly. So I'm thinking most buildings, if I leave it on normal maintenance, I shouldn't have an issue. The only problem with that is I no longer produce a almost significantly more yield in most cases. Uh, and I'll just produce like at a normal rate rather than more. So that's the only downside, it's kind of like a trade-off. I really won't go through tools. I mean, once we reach like mid game, this really isn't going to be an issue. This is an issue because it's early game. This is probably also because I'm completely still unaware of how this game works in general. And at this point, honestly, I guess I don't know who even does the maintenance. I assumed the workers did the maintenance, but maybe whoever this person is that goes around and does like construction, because it says including guiding an ox to transport timber. Maybe they also do the maintenance on the buildings. I have no idea. I would assume it's the workers, and I'm still assuming it's the workers, but I feel like it's a possibility now. Yeah, these people got carrots. Yum yum. Give me them carrots, yo. Bring them to the market. Give us some food. Give us some carrots and we'll give you some money. Take our money. Dun, 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 dun. Take it away. You know the lyrics. Uh, man, what a ruler thing to do. Put a stretch of my owned manor property right through other people's property. Like, right through it. Like, this guy's house, I'll just walk up in there and pretty much be like, yo, this is mine. Get the F out. And he would be like, my lord, but why? And I would be like, because I want. I want. I mean, let's face it, if you were a king, there definitely would be a time or two where you would be like, dude, I'm the king. I really don't care. It's what I want. Like you would totally do that. It doesn't even matter if you decide to pull it while asking for a certain flavor of ice cream. You would do it. I demand chocolate from the highest mountain, from snow so pure. Alright, dude, we're getting sidetracked, and I need to let this keep playing. Another thing that's annoying me is this. Every time this updates, it goes back to play. It doesn't keep fast forwarding. So I have to constantly keep going back down here to fast forward. And I look through the settings, and I can't seem to find where to get rid of this notification thing.
Summer's coming soon. Soon, even soon.
There's a way for me to, I think, turn off hints, and I think I did do that, but like this is still here. And every time it pops up, it goes to play or normal speed. And I don't want that. No unassigned families. Oh, it didn't that time. It does that a lot of the times though. Oh, these must be the people that are going to claim Ovachia. See, I mean, we should stop them. We're not going to though. And I say we should because um, I'm assuming they already have another area, which is why they're doing this and like cutting across and whatnot. But them having another area just essentially makes them more powerful, right? They'll have more resources, they'll be able to grow a bigger economy, and be able to be more strategically placed when it comes to actually military conflicts. So, oh, see, it just went to play on its own somehow. That's what I'm talking about, man. Stop doing that. Respond to correspondence. I don't want to. because you're only giving me one option, and that's to fight. And, well, that just ain't an option. Yo, I mean, just imagine, like, you're in your village, you're sitting here, you're either in your manor or you're some peasant out here in your normal house, or maybe you're in your outhouse and you hear a knock on the door, and it's some other village from way out yonder, and a guy with a sword, and he's like, "Hey, this is gonna be our property now, and hopefully there's nothing you have to say about that." It's like, I honestly don't know what I would do, just because we have guns nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, I've never had to think in the perspective that somebody could come raid the village that I live in. We haven't had to live in that type of fear for some time in society. So, like, it's something that's practically almost fantasized about nowadays, especially given maybe what types of genre of movies or stories you watch. But, people fantasize about this stuff all day long. That's why it's a game, right? It's very popular. I love it. Don't talk bad about it. Alright, we really gotta get another family in here though, and this thing needs to stop going to play. So is that their property now? And how do I claim property? Oh, claim. So I gotta build influence. Well, I don't think I've seen a specific way to build influence yet, other than just kind of by simply doing things as time goes. Like, if there was a building I could put down that could help influence. Like, if trading... I feel like trading would help influence. Maybe it does. But that doesn't seem like a too difficult thing to do. Dude, we so need people, man. Like, we need them badly. What are all of you jackaloons doing, man? You gotta bring people in, too. Yeah, there you go. Get that stone, man. Get that stone, man. Yeah, this guy's the hardest worker for sure. Or maybe she is, because it's a she. The woman's out working, you guys. She's at least keeping up with you. It says more about you than it does her. Yo. Ah, so we did make some money in the treasury. That's good. We can almost hire mercenaries again. For no reason, and then get rid of them when we kind of want them. Ooh, yes, a family. Alright, so they gotta stay on construction and whatnot, and transporting, and all that good stuff for now, for sure. Let's go ahead and we're going to take this person off of woodcutting. Dang, dude, it's so less. What the heck? Oh yeah, because of that. Well, who's doing the maintenance, dude? Like, do it. What? Unless it's because I don't have any tools. So, maybe. We need tools, fellas. Let's look. Military. It doesn't look like it. Crafting. Looks like maybe instead of on this side, we should probably put it over here. And then we'll keep animals over on this side. Yeah, we'll do that. Moderately big field again. We want it to be as straight as we can, just in case we bring that road up. Now, I think it's slightly angled inward, which is okay, because it'll take us away from the road. Let's go ahead and bring that road up just to see where we're at anyways. Okay. I mean, it's not terrible, but good enough. Good enough. And let's go ahead and look at it. Fallow. We really don't want to do that. 62% for wheat. We're doing wheat right now already. And this field is doing barley next. That means this one can start on flax because this one's doing rye. And then after this one does barley, it'll do flax, maybe. We might leave like the small field only to do flax, and then we'll do fallow because we have to be mindful of the ground nutrition, like the ground nutritional levels, whatever they're called in the game. Just because, I guess, yeah, let's start. No, I just said we'll actually probably leave the small field for that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do barley. So we have rye, wheat, and barley. And we'll cycle through those. Um, we'll be able to individually do fallow and not really have to worry so much about production by having multiple fields. That was part of the goal with that. And the small field will do flax only because it has such a small fertility for the soil, but we want some, you know, and we don't always want to have to buy stuff and trade, especially because flax is mostly used for what you see there, linen. And yeah. Now I don't know if bringing up the fallow right away can increase the things that don't do so well here. I don't know if it would work that way necessarily. I suppose we could try eventually. Because I seen over here for the rye anyways, we might do a couple of spots over here. Semi-decent. So we have one family unassigned, so they're doing the construction, timber movement, or timber transport. Farmhouse only has one family, and I like it to have two families, especially during the season. You know what I mean? And I also like the windmill. As soon as this stuff is going to be harvested, we'll want that windmill on and going, and that's when we'll put a person in there. Okay, yeah. Let's drop that down to 2. Ooh, we have a lot of charcoal. Yeah, let's go ahead and start exporting charcoal, man. And we'll just leave it at 50 for now and see what happens. Wait. Critically oversupply, extremely low prices, no foreign exports. Really? Oh yeah, I needed to look at tools. That's the main thing. So, crafting materials. Advanced? Oh no. Maybe it was over here. Oh, it is. Tools. So import. Let's go ahead and do like 3 at a time. Yeah. And because of that, let's go ahead and add one more thing to each of the exports to make up the difference that we're actually going to be spending. Oh yeah, charcoal can't be traded. At least not right now. I guess we'll see what happens. I don't think we're going to worry about this because we're going to end up using the windmill, and that it's going to eat up a lot of our harvest. Okay, so I did look it up, and that is, in fact, my issue is lack of tools. So we'll just lower that down, I guess, because it's not going to matter. And on the next imports, we should have some tools.
This is heavier than it looks.
Yeah, we'll leave it at 1 a year. So hopefully they bring those really, really soon. We'll let them not do anything for a minute. Let some stuff get built. Yeah, I was really curious about this house, how it was going to look. Because it's such a weird angle. I'm going to just leave this house over here just alone. I feel like it's a really cool just spot out in the middle of like nowhere. Assuming the person who's going to work in this mine will just live here too. And they'll just kind of keep them themselves, go to the market every so often. Maybe go to church every so often, you know. People stay away from him because he's weird, but he's really like the coolest guy. I guess let's do that. Maybe we should double. We'll do that and double the hides. Right? I don't know. We're learning here, guys. We're learning. Alright, I'm thinking the next family that comes in, we're going to send them here. And nobody lives here, right? Okay, good. Let's make sure nobody lives here yet. Okay. And then we'll change this to high priority. And then I imagine when we get a new family, that's when we'll change it to high priority, and then hopefully they come here and move and just do the construction on it. And then that can also help us because we have the clay furnace over here too, so we can make the roof tiles and whatnot, which will also help us with our trade and exporting, which is like the biggest focus, I think. I mean, the fish should kind of be taking care of itself in a way. I have a guy there, he's supposed to be fishing, he does catch stuff. I haven't really had too much issues. In the wintertime, I took him off for a little bit. I'm assuming they don't do ice fishing just because it says in the wintertime when it's frozen, it says frozen. Before it freezes, it says freezing. After it's frozen, it says thawing. So like it has stages. So I'm assuming they don't do ice fishing. Okay, so we have 3 tools now. Let's go ahead and up it one more. That way it kind of, in a way, it'll always kind of keep one coming in because they're pretty much going to use these right away. At least there can be one ready to go kind of right away when they're done using these tools. And then because we're not at our minimum of 3, it'll kind of just keep replenishing itself, hopefully. I mean, that's how it should work. I imagine there are some logistical things that could take place, like for instance, maybe tools might not be readily available sometimes, or certain resources like clay or something like that. If, you know, we could essentially import the clay and make the roof tiles and then export the roof tiles, and you could do it that way. But and then let's say for some reason you can't get clay, well then at that point obviously you couldn't be able to do the rest of that list. But yeah, you know, I'm not really concerned about like fast growth. I'm more concerned about sustainability. You know, if I take one part out, how quickly does everything else crumble, and how quickly will it be able to sustain itself until it does crumble, right? Um, that's kind of what I want to know. And everything, in a way, is somewhat thought out. Like, I don't really know about the game, but, you know, a tannery that uses hides to make leather is right next to the hunting camp from the people who are going to get the hides. You know what I mean? So, like, that's, in my mind, that's common sense. But in the logistical aspect, it's also the right move because it'll just go from here to here. And then, you know, the marketplace is either right here or down here. And the trade station is over here. But, you know, they have a slightly small local economy, technically, right? Going right here, and you got a little bit of the farm action going on. Then you got some of the major action down here that you're actually taking majority of your product to. And that would assume you would go into the city to export your product. You could most likely, not only is it probably exported just right out of here to wherever it needs to go, but you could just export right out of here instead of, you know, okay, let's export it to the storage facility and then it'll go from the storage facility wherever it's got to go. Well, it could just go from here to wherever it's got to go too, you know, but in our case, for that to be a realistic achievement, you would need a steady amount of ox available to do that. Assuming they have to be, those are what's used to transport things. Those are horses. I assume horses might actually be better for the majority of that. A little bit quicker too. And you know, I know there's a lot of people that'll change all of their backyards to do something, and you can totally do that, but like in real life, I think it's anywhere from like 15 to 30% of like our food is there from like local people, something like the farmers market in a way, where people are self-sustaining in a way where they kind of grow their own vegetables or their own meat or both and do stuff like that, or maybe they hunt or do other things in that nature. But you know, so you don't need to have every single house. I'm kind of just basing it on roughly, you know, 15-20%, maybe 25% of the total population or total houses need to have some sort of backyard that has something that contributes to the food for society, right? Is at least them feeding themselves, so the food that does go to market is for people who can't feed themselves, right? I mean, that's how it should work. That's how it works in real life. And it's pretty close to that. It's doing pretty good right now because I've kept it that way. Okay, so there is one family living there. I don't know what they do, but let's go ahead. Oh, we have 3 families here right now? What the heck? Let's go ahead and add a person to the clay. Oh, wait. That's finished now. Nice. Okay, we'll add a person to the clay. Get that started. So now I have a family logging, a family claying, and we also have a couple of houses here. That'll take care of those 2 things, and we can expand from there. So it looks like I should probably put another forager's hut over here. I'm assuming they'll go to this mushroom area, but I don't know if we'll be able to build the building in time. Even if I move the building, it has to be like deconstructed and reconstructed or whatever, I think. Pretty sure. So adding another forager's hut is not a bad idea in general. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, I think... Actually, let's just have the... Let's do the road first, and let's have the road go like... I don't want to be... Yeah, I kind of want it to curve. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, perfect. Yep. And we'll just put a path leading to the mushroom area. You know, we don't want to like put anything on it. Hopefully the road didn't destroy some of that. Oops. And then we can put the forager's hut like that. I think that would look pretty good. Makes it mildly obvious what it's supposed to be doing, where they're supposed to be going. And let's go ahead and also put up a little bit of residential. We're going to just add one house, and I think we might put it on the corner right there. But it's right by the logging stuff. I do like that. Okay. Forager's hut. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Eventually we'll put a tavern and a few other things over here. But the majority of stuff is still going to stay over here. And I'm thinking maybe I should wrap the road around over here and put this forager's hut, like, over here maybe. But with it right here, hopefully it goes over here and over here. And maybe over here and over here, you know? Maybe. Is that paths from water? Is that like water runoff, man? That is interesting. I don't think it's a walk path. I mean, it could be. Ooh, the clay furnace is finished. Nice. Yeah, let's go ahead and put the person there, man. Let's do it. Sometimes I like doing single houses and not just having rows of houses, especially in this game, because for some reason this game doesn't have a crazy amount of diversity in the houses. Like, they do have different styles for the houses, especially when you make like the different size yards and stuff like that, but it's pretty much like the same house over and over again, and I don't really like the look of that. I like it to be a little bit different. So we've kind of changed how we're going to do that over here. Just laying them out here and there, and where we still want them and where they would still be if we lined them up in a row. Just, it's going to be that slightly different and give it that slightly more authentic feel than just a straight line like that. So far, this game is honestly practically phenomenal. I mean, it's a lot of fun. It's a super exciting game. It has a lot of points of realism for sure, and there's also a few points where, I mean, it's a video game, and you're probably always going to be aware of that fact, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, but the closer games get to some of those realistic aspects, the more fun or the more captivating it can be for the gamer themselves, you know, because overall, look-wise, it's cosmetically appealing for sure. Like, it looks pretty good. I like it. And the way it functions, it's pretty darn smooth. For being an early access game, I would expect some more hiccups, but I don't really think I've experienced anything. Now, it has been released for the better part of over a year, but, you know, there's been worse. There's been worse games in this position for sure. And, you know, you could probably release this game today and you'd still get that positive feedback that you get now, even though it's in early access. And I just love population management games and city management games, resource management games. They're always a lot of fun, in my opinion. That kind of stuff just, you know, it gets me going. It revs my engine. But for now, we'll wait to see what the future holds for our tiny little village, whether we prosper or completely get annihilated will be up to fate and up to these little people. Whatever course they decide to take their little town, I guess we will have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think about the game. Your likes, dislikes. What do you think the coolest feature of a game like this is? And what are some of the biggest drawbacks of games like this? Anyways, if you like the game, make sure to like and subscribe. That way you can see more when it is released. And until next time, game on.